These are our 2012 NFL picks for Week 1, and we're starting with the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants. Sean, who are you taking?
You know what? I like what the Cowboys have done this all season, addressing their secondary needs and everything, but I just can't see the Giants losing the opening game of the season. They're going to be raising the banner, another Super Bowl win. Can't see the Cowboys winning a big-time game after what happened last year to them. How about you?
I'm going with the Giants as well, obviously. I'm trying not to be biased, but I like the Giants' pass rush against that Cowboys offensive line. I think it'll be close, though. I don't see there being a blowout either way, but I'm going with the Giants.
Next game on the matchup is the Indianapolis Colts at the Chicago Bears. Colts obviously have a lot of starting over to do. They got Andrew Luck starting quarterback. Never a good first game when you go against the Chicago Bears defense. Still unknown if Brian Urlacher is going to play or not, but I like the Bears. They got Brandon Marshall back paired up with Jay Cutler. I'm just expecting big things out of them this year in the NFC North. How about you?
I'm going with Chicago. I think now the fact that they got Forte and Michael Bush, they got Brandon Marshall. I think Cutler being healthy is going to help them out as long as that offensive line can protect, because the Colts still have Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis to hit the offensive line with that pass rush. So as long as they can keep Cutler up and keep him healthy, the Bears will definitely win this game. All right, next we got the Falcons at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm taking Atlanta. I like all their weapons: Roddy White, Julio Jones, Tony Gonzalez, Michael Turner. Obviously, their playoff game against the Giants, they only scored 2 points, but that won't be the case again in this week against the Chiefs. Too many weapons. About you?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Falcons are going to want to come out, start the season strong with a statement. They haven't done much in the later part of the season, especially in the playoffs. But the Chiefs, they're always one of those teams that you don't know what to expect with them. But just with Matt Castle being there, I'm never sold with him as the quarterback of the team. So I'm liking the Falcons big in this game. Next game is Philadelphia Eagles at the Cleveland Browns. I think it's pretty simple here. I like the Eagles by a lot. They got too many weapons. Michael Vick should be healthy, finally. And the Browns just got too many rookies at key positions.
Yeah, I think it's simple to take the Eagles in this one. The Browns eventually, I think they'll get better as time goes on with Brandon Weeden and Trent Richardson. But I think Philly's just way too many weapons right now to go against a pretty suspect Browns defense. Next game is the Washington Redskins at the New Orleans Saints. I'm going with the Saints here. I like the Redskins, but the changes they made with Griffin, getting him as their quarterback, they got a lot of changes at receiver. But I think with Drew Brees, he's going to want to prove a lot. Getting that big contract, I think they'll be able to do a lot of things against the Redskins, especially at home.
Yeah, I think if this game was later in the year, I might maybe pick the Redskins. But the Saints are going to want to come on, make a statement saying that they're still who they've been these past few years, even after the bounty scandal, with their interim head coach, Drew Brees. He's going to be their offensive coordinator and everything. They'll be fine. All right, the next one is St. Louis Rams at the Detroit Lions, and I'm picking Lions. I mean, they're just a better team. That's really all I got to say.
Yeah, I don't really think there's much else to say. Calvin Johnson's a monster. Matthew Stafford, the defense for the Lions definitely will be able to keep Bradford from doing too much. So, the Lions. All right, the next game is the Patriots at the Titans. I'm going with New England. I think it'll be a close game, though. I do like the Titans' defense. I think Jake Locker's going to have a big year, but without Kenny Britton this game, this is the one game they would really like to have him. I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going with the Patriots too. I'm going to be at this game. I think the way they address their defensive problems in the draft, Chandler Jones has looked like the beast this offseason. And with the addition of Brandon Lloyd, I expect a huge season out of him. I do like Jake Locker's potential. He's very athletic. But I think even with the Patriots' weak defense these past few years, Belichick's very good at drawing up schemes for young quarterbacks. Okay, the next game is the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Minnesota Vikings. Picking the Jaguars in this game, I'm not really sure why. I think mainly it's because of Adrian Peterson. Even if he does play, I don't know what you can expect for a guy that is that explosive coming off a torn ACL and MCL only a little over 6 months ago. So I just like the Jaguars in this game. How about you?
I'm taking Jacksonville. I do like that defense a little bit more than the Vikings, but I think Blaine Gabbert looked a little bit better than Christian Ponder too in the preseason. So I'm gonna take Jacksonville.
Now we got the Miami Dolphins at the Houston Texans. I got the Texans very, very big in this game. They're going to want to prove that they can take that next step after making the playoffs last year and winning one game. Now that if they can be healthy this year, they're a huge, huge Super Bowl contender in the AFC.
Houston, I can't see Miami winning this one at all. They didn't look very good in the preseason as well. Preseason doesn't mean much, but when your first team looked as bad as they did, I mean, Tannehill looked pretty good, but he's got nobody around him.
No weapons at all.
All right, next is the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going with Seattle. Marshawn Lynch is a beast. I like Russell Wilson as the quarterback. Sidney Rice, if he's healthy, he'll definitely give them a spark. Seattle on this one, but it should be close.
Yeah, I agree with Seattle. I'm not sure I agree with you on the close part. I just think Seattle's a much, much better team, even with Russell Wilson being their starting quarterback. They got a better defense. I think they have better weapons with the exception of Larry Fitzgerald, who's a beast. I just like Seattle. I don't think the Cardinals are going to make much noise in their division this year. The San Francisco 49ers travel to Lambeau Field and face the Green Bay Packers in our next matchup. I like the Packers very, very close in this game. I think even though they didn't make much improvements on defense, they'll still be able to squeak this one out. How about you?
I'm taking the 49ers in what I think would be an upset. Even on the road, I like the 49ers offense. The additions they made, getting Randy Moss and Manningham and Brandon Jacobs and Frank Gore, Vernon Davis. I don't like the Packers defense that much against this Niners offense, which improved greatly. Next game is the Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Bucks. I like the Panthers in this one. I think it's going to be close. I like the improvements the Buccaneers made, but I think the Panthers taking that step up last year with Cam Newton. I think the Panthers will win this one, but it will be close.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game as well, but I also think the Panthers will win. I like the addition of Vincent Jackson that the Bucks got. He's a big, big target for Josh Freeman, but Freeman just hasn't shown me enough, except in the final few minutes of a game, that he can get it done on a consistent basis. I like the Panthers. Now we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Denver Broncos. I like the Broncos in this game, and I actually like them by maybe 10 points. I like Peyton Manning. He's looked great this preseason, regardless of what ESPN quote-unquote reported, saying that he can't throw the ball very good to his right. I think he answered all those questions in the third preseason game. Steelers have had somewhat trouble with their offense with new Todd Haley system. Mike Wallace is just getting back now. I don't think he's had enough time to practice with the new system and everything. Antonio Brown will be good, but I like the Broncos in this game.
I'm taking Pittsburgh. I think it'll be another close game. These are two good defenses. I think Peyton Manning is definitely going to give the Broncos a big push offensively, but I do like the Steelers' offense. I think getting Wallace back now is better than never getting it back, of course. And a little question mark with the new coordinator, but I think they'll be able to beat Denver close, so might be 3 points. Next is an AFC North matchup with the Bengals and the Ravens. Cincinnati proved a lot of people wrong last year, and Andy Dalton and A.J. Green, that combo is very good. They got Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis at running back. The guy does not fumble. I like the Bengals in this one. The Ravens defense definitely obviously getting a year older. Without Terrell Suggs, the Bengals should be able to win this one on the road in a tough one.
You almost convinced me there, but I gotta disagree with you again. I'm gonna go with the Ravens, mainly because they're at home. The Bengals, although they had a good record last year, they didn't beat very many teams with a winning record at all. I think they might have a little bit of sophomore slump with Andy Dalton, so I'll take the Ravens in this game. The final matchup of Week 1 in 2012 is the San Diego Chargers at the Oakland Raiders. San Diego is one team that you can never trust, but I think Philip Rivers is going to have a bounce-back year compared to last year where he was pretty bad for most of the season. Carson Palmer, I can't trust him. Darren McFadden, you never know if he's going to be healthy, and they got a new coach. I like the Chargers by 2 touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout. I doubt it will be. These are two teams you just never know because They always play each other pretty well. I'm going to take the Chargers in this one, but it's going to be close, and I would not be surprised if the Raiders